Well, I had a problem with our lead-in music, but since we're at 8:01, I figured we'd just go ahead and kick it off and start.
Okay.
So, hello everybody in Facebook and YouTube land, and welcome to the December 8th general membership meeting and update.
Yeah, welcome everybody. We got, as usual, a lot of things rolling along right now, and with Lobby Day, wow! I mean, it's going to be on top of us before we know it. So things are really starting to heat up a little bit on that. My project, hopefully I can get to this tomorrow. I need to. We basically have laid out the routes for the caravan and the caravans, and I'll be putting together a map so everybody can see the basic routes and in general the areas where people might want to wait to join in as the caravan passes them. But that hopefully I'll have that out soon, and also the times. I'll be working on the time, saying that okay, ideally in Bristol you need to leave at whatever time. And then those of you in Christiansburg can expect the caravan to come by about this time, and then you're going to merge.
We are working on a link too for those buses with GPS, so that once you know what bus you're going to get, you'll be able to click on the link and see it, make its way through the map via GPS. If we can get that work, I know a lot of places do that with Santa, coming through the neighborhood. That they do that, and so we're working on that as well. I'm not sure if we're going to have one link that will show all the buses or one link per bus, but that's to be determined.
Hey Ed, with COVID, Santa might be running late. He might be part of this.
Oh, I imagine Santa will make it, because he'll come. He's got to go get the toys at Walmart and things like that, so they won't shut that down. They only shut down gun shows.
Right.
The gun show they shut down in Chantilly. Well, because of COVID, the next week they had a hot tub special, hot tub where everybody could go. Yeah,
it's all politics. It all just infuriates the good people of Virginia. The charades and games that are being played. And again, that was our Attorney General that was so proud that he was saving people from COVID. I don't know if he's ever said anything true in his whole life. I've yet to hear anything, but we'll see. Maybe at some point he'll make a mistake and accidentally say something that's true.
Welcome back, Pat.
Thanks. The joys of country life.
We asked you a bunch of questions while you're gone and you didn't answer, so
we assume they were all yes.
Probably so.
Free ammo at Pat's gun store.
If you can find it.
So Philip, I don't know what you have on the agenda to talk about, but throughout the social media, Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and MeWe and all the things we have, I have a small list of just some things to talk about. Whenever you want one, just let me know and I'll tell you.
Well, we can start, and we can maybe keep our eye on some of the comments coming in on the chat area.
Well, I guess one of the biggest ones that a lot of the people that are trolls and might not be members and whatever they ask is by having our traffic jam, as they call it, are we bootlickers? Or are we giving in to the man?
I love it. I love it.
All of that.
There's a couple things. Number one, you've got a few different types of people. You've got the ones that are trying to bait. You guys are giving in. You're doing what they want. Well, actually, we're doing what we want. We're going to be able to carry. And like I said, if you want to walk around downtown armed and carry signs supporting gun rights, you can do that, and so forth. So we're complete control of this. That's what they completely miss. If we didn't show up at all, then we would have given in to Northam. We would have given in to them, but we're not.
You almost said McAuliffe. He's going to be the governor next time around, Philip.
The reason I almost said that was that somebody had noted that. Yeah, I noticed that somebody said that. Yeah, he wants to run again. So
yeah, I would say to anybody that before they vote for him to go watch fastterry.com, FASTTERY.com.
So Jonathan has asked if we would consider doing lobby day on another day so that we could all be there in person. So Jonathan, first off, the session's 30 days this time. And I seriously doubt the COVID restrictions will be over before the session is over. So there is not another day. Second off, we've done it on Martin Luther King Day every year since its inception for several reasons. One, a lot of people are off of work. The General Assembly is in session. So people have the opportunity to visit with their senators and delegates in person on that day and maybe not miss a day of work or have to take a vacation day. Yeah, a lot of people do have to work, but a lot of people are off too. And you don't have to feed the parking meters on that day. And we have it on the same day every year. And I saw one comment, it's going to be on the 20th, right? No, it's always the third Monday in January, Martin Luther King Day. This year it's the 18th. Last year it was the 20th. This year it's the 18th. So if you show up on the 20th, you'll be 2 days late and $2 short.
There's no advantage. The House is going to be all done remotely. So the House will not, except for maybe one or two of them that represent Richmond, probably aren't going to have any of them in Richmond. They're all going to be sprinkled around the state. Oh, and they're getting a per diem. The Democrats set themselves up so that even if they're sitting in their own home, they're getting, I forget how much a day, $100 or something a day, to eat their own food out of their refrigerator and not drive their car and all the stuff that the per diem is supposed to cover. They're not doing any of that, and they're getting to collect it. What can I say? That tells you a lot of what you need to know about the people that are running the General Assembly right now.
I did have a little birdie tell me that the Republican leadership and the delegates and senators might actually be outside greeting VCDL members as we walk or drive by.
Yeah, I actually heard from one representative today, and I won't say who it was, but he was very excited because since they're meeting remotely, he said, good, I can get into the Caravan and I can attend my session from my vehicle. I'll have somebody drive me and I can attend the session from my vehicle while I'm out there with you guys, making my voice heard and being a part of that number. And we hope that this year will be double the size of last year. I would love to see that. So, there were a lot of people that didn't come last year because of the scare tactics that were used by our dear governor and others, saying that there was going to be violence and this, that, and the other. And that's just, don't let that stop you this year. It's been
cold. You can be in your warm vehicle.
It's been a historically peaceful event every single year. As a matter of fact, the only ones that ever got violent were the Moms Demand Action. So, show up, be there, don't miss this. You will regret it if you miss it. I can guarantee that.
Yeah, I think this is going to be great. And by the way, we're ordering flags to go up on your car where, you roll the window up and lock these flags in. And we've got the metal Gun Saves Lives magnets that you can put on your vehicle, like on the trunk, and you can have the flags on the side. If your vehicle isn't decked out, nobody knows that you're part of the Caravan. So one way or another, you need to have it clear when people see your car that, that's part of this massive stream of vehicles.
Flags, magnets, wearing blaze orange, all of that.
All of it. In fact, we'll probably announce some sort of a contest for the best decked out vehicle. Even our buses are going to be decked out that we're going to have. So it's going to be something to see. It really is. This ought to be incredible. And like I said, if you haven't been to Richmond in a while, you want to take a look at Richmond, you can park your car and you can, go out armed and carry your signs and walk around. That's up to you.
And by the way, Bruce, our stuff guy, is in the process today of ordering corrugated signs for the people that want to do a little sightseeing to carry around while they're visiting the different sites of Richmond.
Yeah, Bruce has been in contact with me. Bruce runs the store with the shirts and the hats and all the other goods that that we're going to distribute to people. I know he's got some stocking stuffers that are available on the store. These Gun Saves Lives funds, which won't really help you much on Lobby Day, but this close to Christmas, if you want to drop one of these in your favorite gun owner's Christmas stocking, they're available on the vcdl.org website at the store.
George, the announcement on how to get the flags and magnets is coming. We have to get the flags and magnets first, and then we will put it out there how to order them. So just stay tuned to the VA alert. And for everybody that is not signed up for the VA alert, Ed can put a link in the comments. It's vcdl.org/VA-alert, and just go on there and sign up. You don't have to be a member to get the VA alert, because we want that news to get to everybody that it can possibly get to. However, that $25 a year does help us to put on events like this and to stand and fight for your rights. I mean, Philip and I were at the General Assembly last session. Every single time there was a gun bill being heard in committee or voted on or anything, we were there fighting for you guys. And a lot of you guys were there too. I know a girl in a gun group, they sent delegates with their signs and their purple shirts, and they were in a lot of those committee meetings. And by the way, I'll be in Ashland tomorrow at this time speaking at a Girl in a Gun meeting, and it'll live stream on their Facebook page. And I'll see about giving the recording to Ed afterwards so he can post it on the YouTube channel and our Facebook page.
Yeah, I'll be putting out something. I'm going to be speaking at a rally in Richmond this weekend on Saturday. So I'll put something.
While you all are listening to us, would you go ahead and do a share and share this video to get the word out right now about this video and all the stuff we're updating? Just take a second and share it on your own page or your own social media so that we get the followers and the views on this so people know what's going on for next month. Thank you for that.
Yeah, and information will continue to roll out. Like I say, my plan is within the next day or two to have at least a map together showing generally the areas where you can join the caravan and approximately what time we expect the caravan to go by that area. We will also be tracking, and we're working on the details of this, tracking the caravans live. So you'll be able to see the actual progress of whichever caravan you're interested in joining. And so you'll know where it is relative to where you are. And when the caravan arrives in Richmond, you can just do a loop-de-loo and head on out and head home, or you can do multiple loops, or you can park your car, like I said, and get out and walk around, stretch your legs, do whatever you need to do in Richmond. So
yeah, and depending on whether or not they're allowing people, the Senate will be in session at the Science Museum as far as we know at this point. Now that's subject to change. But depending on whether they're allowing people in or not, you can always try to make an appointment to visit with your senator and get a little FaceTime with them while you're in Richmond. So it's worth trying. And from what I understand, some of the delegates may actually be in their Richmond offices as well.
Well, the building will probably be closed to us. We'll just have to see how it shapes up. We got a month. We'll just see what happens. I'm going to keep the radar turned on to see what they're planning on doing. I expect some of them will run and hide like they always do, and others will be happy to meet you guys. So I can see it going a bunch of different directions. I
suspect some of the supporters among the Senate and the House of Delegates will actually come out to see us driving by, or join the people that are walking around, or maybe even get in the procession. I know one of them will be.
I see a question here from Chris Rudy. Yes, now let's talk about, he was asking a question about SB 961. SB 961 was the bill that would have grandfathered but banned ultimately ARs, magazines with a somewhat higher capacity, and also suppressors. It grandfathered them, which we rejected the whole thing. I mean, I'm not giving away the rights of the next generation. So the answer was no. That bill was carried forward to 2021. Well, for it to actually finish that last step, in December, a committee would have met and basically moved it out, in which case they could have voted on that bill within a few days of the General Assembly coming in session. Instead, the bill did not get moved forward, so that bill is now dead. Now, that doesn't mean the issue's dead. Believe me, that does not mean that. They can just turn right around and file the bill again in January.
Well, every year we get a bill like that, every single year. The difference is this past year and this coming session, we have a majority of people who support gun control that are in both the Senate and the House. So in the past, that type of bill has never made it out of committee, never seen the light of day. It was killed before it even got on its feet, much less get wings. So last year it came closer than it ever has, to my knowledge, of passing. And this year will be the same thing. So even if 961 doesn't come back, somebody, at least one somebody, will put in another bill that is pretty much a regurgitation of the same thing.
You need to plan. You need to plan that they're going to try and take away your ARs and your AKs, and that they don't want you to have suppressors, and they don't want you to have magazines that'll hold more than the number of fingers on both your hands. Also, while I'm thinking about it, Christopher was asking about the body cam I used to get the video for the Alexandria City Council. It was also the one I used on Lobby Day. If you guys posted, I don't know if you all have seen it, but I had a nice edited video of my point of view on Lobby Day in January. And this little camera does a great job. It's a body cam. Actually, Pat, wasn't it you, Pat, that got these for us? Yeah. It's called a Patrol Master. And it doesn't
look the same. It just has a different name. Mine's a medium fly, but it looks the same.
Yeah, this is called a Patrol Master. Where did you get them, Pat? Do you remember?
Actually, on Amazon. There's a bunch of different iterations of it on Amazon. So they're out there. Technology is reasonably affordable these days. Not like it was a few years ago.
Record your color for 8 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Philip, I was just chatting while we were talking here. I was chatting with Dustin, who's in the chat and been messaging me. Just wants to confirm if he can walk around in Richmond.
Absolutely.
He can walk around armed.
Yes, I absolutely walk around armed. The only place that would be off limits would be places you're probably not going to go anyhow. A Richmond city government building, a community, or what's community, a recreation center, and a park. A park might be the only one you might wander into. All of those have an ordinance that says you can't carry there.
And they have to be signed, and then you have to be asked to leave?
Pretty much, yeah. There has to be a sign, and the police, like I say, they're not eager to arrest people that inadvertently walk past a sign that are otherwise excellent citizens. They're looking for criminals, people out to harm people. None of us are out to harm anybody, unless it's somebody trying to harm us. But my advice would be stay away from the parks. If you are on sidewalks or walking, just make sure the sidewalks, people can pass on the sidewalk. Do not block the sidewalks. Do not block streets or walk against the lights, slowing down traffic. Just obey all the traffic lights. Make sure the sidewalk's got a clear path for anybody that needs to walk down that sidewalk. Do not block it. And you should be in good shape. Do walk around, enjoy yourself.
Okay.
And
thanks for answering that for Dustin.
Yep.
And Pat Murphy, you don't use social media. How do you sign up for the bus or car parade? I would say stay tuned to the VA alert. You'll find out where the buses are come from. We'll probably have a GPS link where you can see the bus go through your town, and you can just jump on board. But the VA alert that you sign up for at vcdl.org/VA-alert is the main media outlet of VCDL. All the other social media outlets and stuff like that, we take our direction from the VA alert and feed off that. So sign up for the VA alert, and if you have email, that's all the social media you need.
And I just talked to the company that we use to send out our text messages today and confirmed that we can send out text messages in real time. So if you remember, log into the website, vcdl.org, and then in your profile, you click view profile in the upper right corner and then edit profile, and make sure that little text alert yes, no button is set to yes. And make sure that there is a phone number in the cell phone box so that we can get your cell phone number, and we will be sending text updates during the day about the progress of the various processions. So send that out, and I'll work later on how to sort those so that it goes to the right people that are actually in the processions to get the updates. But the big thing is we need your cell phone number, and we need that little opt-in box on the text alert. Now, if you're not a member, you'll have to email us, and I'll give you the information on that. You're going to email secretary@vcdl.org. In the subject line, you're going to put opt-in, and then in the body of the email, put your first name, your cell phone number, and your zip code. And I'll add you to the list that way. But if you're already a member, just click that little box on your profile and make sure your cell phone number is in the cell phone box.
Susan Brush, one of our EMs, is asking about sidewalks around VCU and MCV. Look, when it comes to universities, public universities, the no carry is in the buildings. It's not on the outside of the building. So the sidewalks are fine. If you want to walk around VCU or MCV on the sidewalks, you're fine. Really, the only place that there would be an issue is in a park, is the only place you might wander into when you're out there. And again, it's got to have signs. And also if you're just walking around, and the truth is you'd have to be open carrying, which some of you will be, but you need to be open carrying if you make that kind of mistake for somebody to even know it, including you. So, all right, let's see. Actually, the comments are coming in so quick sometimes they scroll off before I have a chance to. I have to keep scrolling back trying to catch some of these. The buses will be, we're not calling it a parade, but it will be in the caravan. The buses our buses, the ones that the VCDL is paying for, should be leading the caravan wherever possible. There are other organizations talking about supplying buses as well. So there may be multiple buses on the various caravans. And again, we're encouraging anybody doing that to have the bus marked in some way with the signs or something on at least both sides, minimally, that says, gun saves lives. And of course, we encourage you to do your own signs. But the one thing we would ask, if you can, I know we all have a lot of different issues. Some parts of gun rights are really particularly important to us, and it might be something different to somebody else. But we're kind of thinking maybe we want to keep the theme something like guns are, and then like guns are women's rights, guns are minority rights, guns are all our rights, guns save lives, and guns or slaves do not own guns. You want positive statements about guns, that needs to be in there. Again, as you're going by and people are watching all these cars go by, you want a consistent message. If you get off tangent on something else, then they're not going to think you're part of the caravan. So that's just something that we're encouraging. A common theme of
right. Keep the message focused on guns so that they know you're with our group and not another group that's there. Michael is asking to put out a summary of the meeting. Michael, subscribe to the VA alert. If you're not already subscribed, they will be in the VA alert, and you can save the link to that alert so that you can share it with other people and so forth. The last 12 alerts are visible on our website, but the ones prior to that you can still access if you have the link. So save the link for the alerts with the pertinent information in it. You can save them to your desktop or whatever, and you can always refer back to them and share them with others.
Right now, the alert that talks about lobby day, you can get to that one if you go to rolling, the number 4, rolling for the 2a.com will take you to the alert about lobby day.
Yeah, I was looking at some other ideas here. Guns are human rights. That's absolutely true. Guns are natural rights. Guns are God-given. Your right to self-defense is a God-given right.
Right.
So
Bruce, our store guy, is reminding us that the prices go up from 12 to 15 on hats, shirts, and shipping.
Yep. So buy your shirts and stuff now before the price increase.
That's January 1 they go up, was it? Or
they said FC prices are going up, whatever.
I'm trying to remember
fulfillment center.
Yeah, fulfillment center.
Oh, fulfillment center.
Yeah, so I don't remember.
People have been calling him the stuff guy.
Well, yeah, he answers to all of that different stuff.
They're going up on the 15th of this month. So you've got 1 week from today to order at these prices. And then on the 15th, the hats and shirts and shipping are all going up. So put your orders in now on the VCDL store so that you have your shirts and hats and so forth for lobby day.
Yeah. We haven't raised I think it's the first time we've raised the prices in all these years, but at some point you got to catch up with inflation and stuff. So
Wayne, you can open carry or concealed carry. I don't understand your question. What are the times is another question that has been on the sheet.
We have not set the formal times out yet. That's part of my homework to do this week, where we have a map of general areas where the buses or where the caravan will be and what time they'll be there. I can tell you that we're looking at the 4 corners of the state arriving at slightly staggered times covering a 4-hour period. And that's the goal. I'm thinking off the top of my head, but this is not final yet, that, for example, the people coming from Bristol and out that way would probably be the last shift. That way they wouldn't have to get up at, pre-dawn hours. They are at least not too far into to be able to make that drive to Richmond and follow the bus in. So that one will probably be one of those that will arrive later in the afternoon. And probably maybe the people in Central Virginia will be heading out and sooner, maybe at the first hour. Although I'm going to encourage the people in Central Virginia, if they want to go visit Richmond, if they haven't been there in a while, go ahead and go visit Richmond, park your car, walk around. That'd be a good thing. Or go to the
governor's mansion is beautiful this time of year.
And they could catch the nearest caravan. If you live in Central Virginia, then you could go to any of the, you could be whichever caravan you wanted to join. So, or just a group of locals circling and just looping for as long as they want to do it.
And so for the people that live further out, one of our executive members is looking into hotel rooms in places that are like within an hour or so of Richmond, so that you can drive halfway there on Sunday, stay, get rested, and then join a caravan right there at your hotel or near your hotel and join the procession and be a part of the actual event. So, or you can come to Richmond and stay and sightsee around and be one of the spectators on the street as the caravan goes by. So.
Now, since we don't have an event in Richmond ourselves, we don't know if there's going to be food or porta potties or anything like that, right?
Right. This is not an event for us. So restaurants that'll be open and anything like that. We're not supplying anything because we're not having an event there. But you'd have to go to probably a 7-Eleven restaurant, something like that, for food, for drinks, for a potty break. And I might suggest, if you're not thinking of, walking around Richmond, seeing the sights, that you're just going to drive through, you might bring sandwiches and stuff. That way you don't have to pull out of the caravan to drive through somewhere to get something to eat. Although, you'll probably be stopping at rest stops and things as you come in, depending on where you're from, how far away you're coming. I know some will be, we've got people coming from New York and Missouri and everywhere else. So we're definitely gonna have some people that have driven a long way. I think it was some guy who was saying he's got like 60 people from upstate New York that wants to come be a part of this. So it's should be a big deal.
All these people in the caravan, I don't think we have the details yet, but they're going to be able to listen to us streaming speeches and Second Amendment info and stuff like that on their radios and their internet and all that stuff, right?
Yes. In fact, we're looking at having some well-known guests, speakers. So you're definitely going to want to, the ideal situation would be, if you've got somebody that can stream, on their cell phone while another person's driving, and that way they can be watching the map to see where the buses are. If they need to know that, they can be, listening in. Of course, you can listen in without and drive just fine, but to the streaming aspect, so they can hear us, all the people with their commentary and so forth, streaming live. We're looking at having, we're not limited to 1 hour of speakers anymore. So I'm hoping to start this at a decent time before even the first caravan arrives, and that way people have something to listen to. They can kind of get some ideas on what's going on, maybe some traffic information, whatever we come up with. We'll be able to stream it out. I'm kind of picturing us having more of a control center where we'll have probably a few people up there doing different things, watching traffic, communicating with people in sort of a chat mode with any questions or concerns, and just something like that. They probably have at least 3 people doing variety of jobs up there, and one of which also would be making sure that the maps are updating correctly for the caravan as it's coming in, so that we can keep an eye on the status of it.
If you have people that want to volunteer for the event, who should they contact or what should they do?
Well, again, we're not really having an event, unless you want to call the Caravans an event, which that's different.
Yeah, I guess I had some people say, how can I help you? What can I do? Yeah. And I'm like, well, I'm not sure yet.
Yeah, I think we'll have to put out a call for help. I don't know at this time. I've got to lay this map out and get the times together. We've got people working on the buses. We've got people working on the tracking of the buses, of the caravans, and
the stuff, the mark up your car stuff, and the flags and the magnets and the.
Yeah, you know what we are going to need, and this is something I'll put a call out for. One of the things we're looking at is people to do distribution, people that are members that want to do distribution. So therefore, we could send you, so many flags, so many, magnetic signs, and then you would simply, maybe you would let me know you're going to be at like some mall or somewhere where you can hand these out to people that want to be part, like a week ahead of time.
We'll have hopefully tables set up at the meetup points and be handing out signs and flags and things like that at the various meetup points. I saw a question, somebody said, and I didn't catch the name, I'm sorry, it's scrolling too fast, but they wanted to know if they got a membership card. They just joined BCDL. So yes, you get a membership card that looks like this. And on the back, it should have a handy little shooter's wheel. These are our new cards that we're just launching. So they're actually made of a plastic. They're more durable than the paper ones. And you will get one of these in the mail. So
I'm guessing Philip doesn't have one.
Yes, the short answer is yes. You will be a card-carrying VCDL member. So, yeah, I see a lot of people wanting to step up. And yes, there are tons of good hotels outside of the Richmond city limits. There's plenty of them in Fredericksburg. There's some south of Richmond as well. Charlottesville's a good place to stay overnight and join in the procession if you're coming from the west. So It was Josh that asked that question. I see it now. Trying to scroll back through some of these messages and see if we missed anything. Again, can't say enough. If you're not on the VA alert, get signed up. You don't have to join to be to subscribe to the VA alert. We don't share your email address with anybody. We don't spam you. We only send pertinent information. So we'll be happy to have you as a member. The numbers really do count for something when we go and lobby at the next session. So when we go in, we can already say that our membership has tripled since this time last year. I would like to say that it's increased by 10 times. That will absolutely carry a lot of clout when we go into the 2021 session. So
Steve was asking about it, if there's a CB channel for the Caravan, and since I would guess that would be CB channel 2 for Second Amendment.
Second Amendment. I don't know. We haven't set anything up. We are thinking of maybe putting a frequency out for people with FRS FM radios. It's the FMs that you can buy, two-way radios that you don't need a license to have. They're low power, but for people in a Caravan, I mean, you might be able to communicate with each other if we set a frequency. And so I think with COVID, that could be considered an emergency. I think in an emergency, the FCC defines that you can use the higher power frequency without a license because there's an emergency pandemic going on. Yeah. Well, probably can't get a license real quick either.
Yeah.
So I don't think that the FCC is going to be worrying about that a whole lot. Most of those radios can do either mode. So but I'll put a frequency out, and then people can decide.
Bruce Jackson is screaming, get your friends to sign up too. Yes, and you can also buy gift memberships for your friends and family. It's an excellent Christmas gift. So think about that as well.
I see someone in there that was saying, well, boycott Richmond. Well, first of all, if you're in a Caravan, you're free to drive through, not buy anything. You just drive through and you're on your way, or you can park your car, get out and walk around. You don't have to buy anything there. Although I always have mixed emotions about that. It's rough on businesses. They're already being hurt, and they may well not have supported the mayor that they've got. That's so terrible.
And I can tell you for a fact that there are a ton of businesses in Richmond, and especially right around the General Assembly, that support VCDL.
Yes.
I know of a pizza place we go to quite frequently after Lobby Day that absolutely loves VCDL and welcomes us with open arms and excellent pizza. So, think about boycotts. They're hurting the people that are supporting you a lot of times. There's better ways to put pressure on the Richmond City Council, one of which is to get people that are sympathetic to our cause to run for Richmond City Council. So, the way we change the tide is to take control of it.
Right. In fact, been at a conference for a couple days in Lynchburg, and that's one of the things that was being discussed amongst quite a few organizations, was how exactly do we do things like that to influence and get good people into government. The problem with government is you typically have three type of people attracted to it. One is it's just a job. Well, I'm okay with that. It is a job. Number two, you get the people that actually, it's a job, but it's also something they actually enjoy, helping people. There are a lot of people, a lot of you are like that. You really enjoy stepping forward and helping people solve problems and just enjoy being around people. The third type is the bad ones. Those are the ones that lust for the power of government. Those are the troublemakers. Those are the ones that will snap up your rights. If it increases their power, they'll do whatever they have to do. And there are plenty of those I've seen in the General Assembly. So, and everywhere else at all levels of government. So that's where, we need to have people thinking about that. And we'll have more information on this. There's going to be a website where you can find out in your area every position that somebody can run for. everything, anything at all that's electable. And just even being on a school board, you can make a very big difference, especially in some of the materials that are being approved for children to look at. That's not something for VCDL to cover, but it's just a thought for you to get an idea that all levels of government, especially from Board of Supervisors, which now has importance because they can pass gun control, to department, to to the school board, to all kinds of positions.
And just to point out and emphasize what Philip's saying, I have a gun store and we teach safety classes, and we're in a rural area, and there's an elementary school down the street from where I live and work. And I had approached the principal of the school and said, I would like to come down and teach firearms safety to the kids in the elementary school to try to help prevent gun accidents and things like that, and teach them about, muzzle safe direction and keeping your finger off the trigger, basic safety rules. Not even live fire or anything like that, just basic firearm safety. And the problem is I had to go through the school board, and the school board wouldn't allow it because it was guns. So that's the kind of impact that you can have at the local level. You have the most control at the local level, and running for offices like school board, board of supervisors, city council, that sort of thing. You can really make a difference if you will take the time and jump in there and try to influence things for the better.
Somebody noted on here that a lot of the Richmond stores are closed right now with all the COVID and everything else going on. I'll tell you what, as the word continues to spread about us showing up on the 18th, I wouldn't be surprised if a whole bunch of stores don't open up to be available for that, for all those people. Again, all businesses all over the place are hurting right now.
Oh yeah.
They're welcoming people with open arms if they have a chance. So I guess, I wouldn't be surprised if a few extra businesses don't open up just for that one day to try to get some business in.
Right. And, I made reservations for us today for the people coming from out of town and our board and our support staff for this event. And the person at the hotel, they were closed until last month, I think it was. And now that the General Assembly is not meeting, they're not having that business coming. I mean, that's their mainstay. So, and I talked to somebody else, a friend of mine in the gun world, and he's also a caterer, and his business is shut back down again. He's been pretty much since March, he's had no income, and it's going to be a pretty sad Christmas for him. Like you said, there's not going to be any travel to go see family or anything. So it's really put the pressure on a lot of people. So coming to Richmond, and if you have the time, stop and patronize one of those restaurants that we go to every year, and they support our efforts, and give them a little love back.
I know we were talking about this stuff guy, everything like that. So I would just like to bring the stuff guy on for a second in case he has anybody has any questions for him, or he wants to say anything about the store. So welcome, Bruce, the stuff guy.
What's happening? No, the store's been running. Like Philip said, we haven't raised the prices ever in the store. We're going up $5 on polo shirts. We're going up $5 on ball caps, and we're going up $2 on shipping, just because we're getting to the point where the store's not there to make a profit. It does help, but it's definitely there to get the word out as much as possible. So part of the issue is we got to make sure that we hit that fine line, because we can't bleed the organization, but we do have to make the materials available. So they've always been as cheap as possible, and we've never raised the prices. So this is the first price increase that the fulfillment center's ever had. And we've been open, gosh, I'm trying to remember now. It's been 6 or 8 years it's been open. So the guys that have been to my house can attest to the fact that, probably a third to a half of my house is VCDL materials on carts and pallets and everything else. So it's interesting.
If you watch the alerts every once in a while, Bruce will have like a stuffing party where you can help stuff the envelopes for membership and applications. And he might even need help packing up all these magnets and shirts and hats and all that type of stuff. So just stay tuned to the VA alert. So, anything else? Anybody want to ask Bruce a question while he's here? He's also a board member.
It's been, how long has it been? I've been on the board since 2006, I believe. It's been an interesting ride. Philip can tell you that. I remember lobby day was about 10 of us following Philip around with his briefcase trying to get co-sponsors on bills. That was a long time ago.
That was. In fact,
we'll keep trucking along with the meeting if you want to hang out with us, Bruce. And then if any questions pop in for you, we can either answer them or you can answer them in chat, or you can drop out whenever you want.
Excellent. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, it's getting to be your bedtime.
No, it's past that. It's been a very long day. Oh, by the way, the last printing, 199 records that Pat sent me. For those that don't know, we're finalizing the new membership card format. Some of us have a much longer. Ed's got a card there. That was one of the test cards. However, I will say, I now can officially say I have the longest membership ever. Mine doesn't expire until after the second coming. Therefore, I have an afterlife membership. But anyway, 199 records. We had 2 failures. One was bad data, and the other one was because the form was a little bent. Other than that, it was 100% successful. So we're ready to turn it over to membership and go live.
So you're all set if St. Peter says you got to have a VCDL card to get in.
and a GSL sticker.
Bruce must also run gun websites because they're sending him a lot of accolades of how great he is. So Bruce must be running that on the side.
Just so you guys know, these new membership cards that they've been flashing at you here, Bruce has single-handedly researched these cards and done test prints and done test mail merges and tweaked and finagled and pulled his hair out, screamed, yelled, stomped his feet and everything else. And he has finally reached the end of the line here and gotten everything adjusted properly. And the new cards, I think, are fabulous. They're plastic card. They're thin enough they won't take up a lot of space in your wallet, but they're not paper. They won't disintegrate if you fall in the river when you're fishing or something like that. So thank you, Bruce. Excellent job.
They're only $25 each and come with a free membership.
Yeah, they're 7 mil plastic, so they're very durable. We were going to try to go to 10 mil, but we had too many printer problems with that, too many jams and stuff. So we went with the lighter material, and it seems to be working fairly well. So your next, pretty much any mail that we send out after, I'd say this coming weekend should have the new materials in it. We just got to get membership on board, which sometimes the transition can take a little while, but we'll get that done and we'll be moving down the road.
And Pat came up with a new use for that card. If you're having a boating accident and all your guns fall in the water and you jump in trying to find them in vain, at least your membership card will be okay.
That's right.
So there was a question. This thing's flashed by so fast. There was a question. Really, they were asking about the pre-lobby day dinner. Is there going to be an event before this? And usually we do a pre-lobby day dinner on Sunday. And I don't know. We haven't lined anything up. I don't know how that's going to go. I'd have to. It's the stupid COVID stuff. Can we get enough people in the restaurant we normally use? What do we get in there? 100 people or more, at least, I think.
And I don't know if they're allowing buffets right now.
Yeah, well, yeah. I think they're. I would guess what they're doing at that buffet is the same as they're doing at some others, where you point at what you want and somebody that works there bills the dish for you. You're not handling
Or you can't go back and refill your cup. You have to touch another cup and throw it away. And
You have to get another cup, and it's just. But I don't. The question is, I don't know if we're going to do that due to this crazy COVID situation. Also, it was different in the past because we were going to lobby the next day. So a lot of people came to Richmond, wanted to get there early so they could get there and join their team and go around lobbying. In this case, we're not going to be doing lobbying because there's going to be nobody to lobby to because the building's going to be closed. So this is really to get the attention of the media and get attention of the General Assembly with the sheer massive number of people that are coming out and saying no more gun control, reminding them we are not going away. We're not giving up and walking away. We're not satisfied that we had a big turnout last year. We know that we've got to keep going to say we're dead serious about this. Don't touch our rights. So it's a different world.
For the people staying in the outlying areas like Fredericksburg, Charlottesville, maybe Chesterfield or south of Richmond, I'm not sure where yet, but they may actually have a designated place that they find there to have dinner the night before. And there may be a smaller lobby day dinner in Richmond for the people that come and stay in town so that they can walk around and sightsee that day. So, things are in flux and a lot depends on how things progress with the COVID restrictions and just in general. So just keep an eye on those VA alerts. Again, if you're not already signed up, vcdl.org/VA-alert and sign up for the emails to keep abreast of what's going on and stay on top of things. And you'll see it on the Facebook page as well.
And somebody mentioned, well, so we're not lobbying. Well, not on that day. Well, we're going to have you guys lobbying. We're still going to be able to attend meetings using Zoom and stuff that they're going to have. We'll have you making phone calls to their aides. It's just that it's all going to be, we're stuck with virtual, really.
Right.
For most of the stuff. Now, again, as Pat pointed out, some of the guys some of the legislators are looking at being there. Some of them may well be there to, maybe near the Science Museum. Some of the senators might be there doing greeting and stuff. But overall, if we had to say, not knowing who your senator or delegate is, you're probably going to be doing a lot of the lobbying by emails and phone calls. And I would say phone calls are a darn good idea. I really hope people will take the time to do that. Keep in mind, if you were planning to drive hours to get to Richmond, spending a little time on the phone would be less to ask and would have a pretty good effect.
Right.
So we will need to do something.
This is another form of lobbying, by the way. It's kind of lobbying by media. So there will be media coverage of the event, and the senators and delegates will see the number of people that turn out and show up for this event. So it will have an effect, just like last year had an effect. And just because we're not allowed in the building doesn't mean that we can't make our voices heard. This is just another way to do that. But for all you people that say that last year didn't have any effect, go and look at the long list of bills that were killed last year that were bad bills. And also look at we even got advances out of the session. For instance, we came out of last session with the recognition of dual residency in Virginia. And that was a major sticking point before. It really affected military families because if you were military and you were stationed in Virginia, the military family member could buy a handgun in Virginia, but their spouse couldn't because they did not have military orders. Well, now with the dual residency, if you can show a lease and show that you actually reside in Virginia, even though you may have a Florida driver's license, then you can buy a handgun in Virginia now after last session. So that was one good thing that actually came out of the session last year.
Yeah, and another thing about what we're doing is it is a form of lobbying. And this is the 2021 is an election year in Virginia. It is a major election year. Any of you guys that sit this one out, you know, I don't know what to say to that. This is going to be this is going to be as critical as the election was this year at the federal level. We have the chance in 2021 to change who's in control of the House of Delegates in Virginia. That change alone could put the brakes on all kinds of stuff. Plus, we'll have we'll be getting a new governor, a new attorney general, a new lieutenant governor. All of those positions are important. We'll be getting all of that. That's all coming up. So a strong show on Lobby Day, all these vehicles, all these people, is going to send a message, a reminder that we know this is going to be an election year. And any kind of gun control passed is not going to be well accepted. In fact, we would like to see some forward movement on restoring some things.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm already lining up to get we're going to start getting some bills in on our side to try to start moving the ball back the other way. You know, you don't win a fight by playing defense all the time. You've got to go on the offense at all times. Otherwise, the best you can do is lose ground.
As part of what Philip's saying, and as a message to our membership and our followers, if you have any friends that are new gun owners, maybe they vote Democrat, those gun-owning Democrats need to call their lawmakers and because all these laws that they're going to put down on us are going to go against these Democrats that voted for or that bought guns too. So those Democratic new gun owners need to contact their lawmakers and tell them they don't want any more gun control either. And they don't want any magazine limits and things like that will also make their guns illegal.
Yeah, and somebody was, by the way, was mentioning about, well, it's unless they steal the election again. Point is, you know, the elections are how we pick our leaders in this country. We cannot walk away from them. Yeah, I think if there are people tampering with our elections, I think they need to go to jail for a very long time. But we need to make sure that system is working properly. We cannot give up on it. We can't walk. They would love for us to walk away and say, well, there's no point in me voting. They've been trying to get us to do that forever. And a lot of people have been suckered into it. Yeah, my vote doesn't matter. They love it. That's music to the ears of the gun controllers. Yeah, you know, I just said there's no point in this. Don't fall for that. We need to all be out there voting, and we need to be doing the right thing. Do not give in. And then occasionally I get somebody that poo-poos the whole thing. Oh, you know, there's just no point driving around in a parade, blah, blah, blah. And the thing is, the people that seem to be doing that are kind of sending a signal. I think they basically are looking for a way not to do anything. Oh, there's no point in doing that. I'm just going to sit home and sit in my rocking chair. You know, you're not accomplishing anything at all when you do that. We need to be working. We need to be visible. We need to be active, and we need numbers. That's how we, you know, basically indicate our strength and our determination. And even a small group of determined people could do some amazing things, much less a massive group like we do. And I said it last time, I think truly if every gun owner went out and voted, we would be an unstoppable block of voters. There's so many of us, but so many people are not. So if you got friends, start thinking about 2021. We need them to be registered to vote, and we need them to vote. We're looking at some ways to reach out in a whole new avenue to get to gun owners that have not registered and get them to register. We're looking at ways to contact them, and I think we found an interesting way to do it. So, but you guys can be of great help. Gun shows, you run into people, you're talking to them, see if they're registered to vote. If not, get them to register. If we're not doing that, we're handing power to the other side they don't deserve. There's way more of us than there are of them. Way more. But if we're not doing what we're supposed to do, it doesn't matter.
And then once you registered and you vote, you still have to be a part of the process, the lawmaking process. So if you can't go to Richmond and actually attend the committee meetings and so forth, you can still have an impact. You have a phone. You can pick up that phone and call your senators and your delegates. I mean, they should know you by name. You should have their numbers on speed dial.
I put in chat, you could call while you're in the caravan. If you're just sitting there with nothing to do, call your senator and your delegate and tell them you don't want this coming session, you don't want to vote for any more gun control.
Right. And if you're not a part of the decision-making process, somebody else is going to make those decisions for you, and you're probably not going to like the decisions that they make.
Yeah, and even though you may have gotten your candidate elected, it's still smart to be contacting them and reminding them of what you want. Don't assume that now that you've elected them, you're done for the next 2 or 4 years.
Absolutely. And if they're voting the right way, call them up and say, thank you. We support you. Yeah. And, what can I do to help you? What can I do to help get this bill passed? All sorts of things can be done.
And when election time comes around and they're looking for funds to help with their election, be sure you donate to the really good ones. Donate to them, and make sure that they understand that you are not only a constituent, you are somebody that's a supporter of theirs. Go knocking on doors for them. What can you do to help their campaign? Because if you've got a really good person, we need them in there. And that takes a few things. It takes money, it takes time, but it's worth it. I'd much rather spend a few minutes walking around helping them than I would battling what we've got now, having to try to fight back all this gun control.
And that's not just at the General Assembly. That's the U.S. Senate and Congress, and also at the local level. You should know your city councilman. You should know your supervisor, your county supervisor. Mine happens to live down the street from me and stops in my shop every once in a while to talk to me. So, but you should actually know everybody on your local board, whether it's a city council or a board of supervisors. You should know everybody by name. They should know you by name. And, I'm sure there's some on my board of supervisors that go, oh no, not her again. But
that's all right. As long as they know you're there. Yeah. I did an interview today while I was at this conference. I got a call from a reporter. I did an interview, and it was about Blacksburg. And I'm sorry, I opened up with both barrels. I'm so sick and tired of these local tyrants that are not only rude. I mean, you would see email after email, people forwarding me saying, how rude is this guy? Mm-hmm. Over and over and over. I mean, I know everybody there, you're not sure if I'm seeing stuff, and that's fine. I understand. So you get a response from somebody like Mr. Bush with Blacksburg, and you forward it to me. Look what he said. Well, of course, I've seen now hundreds of those, but that's okay. Again, you don't know, and you may be the first person to tell me. But the thing I'm pointing out here is all the comments that go with that. Everybody is so offended by this guy because he's acting so snobbish and so forth. And it's just, so I just called a spade a spade. I just said, these people, some people are in government for the wrong reasons, and it looks like Blacksburg, they're almost all in there for the wrong reason.
And they all use the same canned email to respond, by the way.
Yeah, they accuse us of sending them canned emails, and they respond with canned emails. The hypocrisy is enough to make your head spin. But we're, I said this before, we're not ceding any ground. Even if some might say it's a lost cause in Blacksburg, I'm not walking away from it and saying, oh, it's a lost cause, I'm not going to bother with them. Hell no. If they're going to do this, they're going to be listening to us.
That's right.
Whether they want to or not.
And it's not no more gun control. It's no gun control.
Yeah, we want to get rid of the stuff we've got. It's not we don't want more. We don't want any. But we certainly don't need them jumping on board while we're trying to put the Second Amendment back where it's supposed to be. But so far, we've kept it down. There are 7 localities so far out of 160 that have done anything like this. And there may end up being 2 or 3 more before it's all done. So we've held it down beautifully from what it could have ended up. Believe me, it could have been a massive disaster. But we will not rest until this is all repealed again, when it's all gone, all this local gun control. And we can do that by changing the law and ripping it away from them. So
as you guys all post and share this video and post on your Facebook and other social media about coming to Lobby Day, please make sure you use the hashtag rolling for the 2A, so all of this gets kind of clumped together in each other's feeds and we can share ideas through the social media.
Yep. And this video will be on YouTube and shareable when it's all over with. So, for the people that missed it, you can share it with them. They can listen to it while they're driving to work. If they see it on Facebook and watch it later, they can still make comments in the comments section. And they can always contact VCDL with any questions. But the big thing is subscribe to that VA alert, and Ed can put a link up in the comments there.
Yep, I'll put it up again right now.
And I will suggest that, yeah, you really want to be on it and as soon as possible, because we're only a month out or so now, maybe 5 weeks from Lobby Day. So things are going to start accelerating, and you're really going to want to know everything that's going on.
Yep.
Not just know, but Philip's going to put in there action items where it's something that you need to click on and do almost immediately, because there's a meeting coming up or a vote coming up and they want to hear from you. And if you do it next week, it might be 4 days too late.
Right.
It's got to be something you got to take care of.
And bills are already starting to drop, by the way. So they're filing bills now, and the session starts, right after the holidays. So we got to be ready to land on our feet and start running.
Yeah.
And you want to answer that one?
Okay, so on the website, you can purchase a membership for somebody else and pay for it. Couple things to know: the membership is controlled by the email address. So a person to sign into the website, they have to have their email address. So you can't have two memberships with the same email address. If you're buying a gift membership for somebody and you pay for their membership and you want it to recur every year, when you sign them up, just click the little button that says recurring payments. You'll sign up. There's two levels. One says regular member, and the other one is level 2 regular with auto renew. So that's the one you would use to sign them up if you want it to bill your card every year. So it's the gift that keeps on giving. And just sign them up. And I believe there's a place in there to make a comment when you're making your payment. And you can make the comment that it's a gift membership, and we'll see that when it comes through. But you can also print out the email or forward the email where you receive the confirmation. If you use their email to sign them up, they're going to get the email that says you're now a member of the VCDL, and they'll get the card. So then you can just contact them. I'm working on a better way to give gift memberships that's a little bit better user experience. But for right now, that's the best we can do.
I saw a comment in here, we need an app for the organization. Well, that was something we were working on, and I honestly don't know the current status of it. We are working on an app, but I think it's gotten set by the wayside. We had contracting somebody to put that together. Also, I do have some breaking news for everybody. In fact, this will probably be the first Pat hears about it, although I told Bruce. I got a call today from the Second Amendment Foundation. That's the group that not only does a lot of lawsuits, they hold the gun rights policy conference every year, where all the gun leaders meet in various states every year. It's in a different location, and they get together and we discuss. It's usually in September, and we discuss gun rights. All these different organizations, Grassroots North Carolina, the West Virginia Citizens Defense League, and so forth and so on, and this year, and I'll have a photo of this. This year, VCDL got the Grassroots Gun Rights Organization of the Year. That's for the entire year. And believe me, we're going up against some other really excellent
Yes.
Second Amendment organizations. And our lobby day just put us, leaps and bounds ahead of everybody this year. And so I'll be accepting that award, and I'll put some photos of it up on the website.
Alan Gottlieb.
Alan Gottlieb, yeah. There we go. There's Alan on the right.
Yep.
And Alan's. We're going to get some people as well to send us pre-recorded comments to put on our lobby day streaming for event. So. And Alan's one that I wanted to have on there. He's done an awful lot for gun rights. So anyhow, that's the good news. We've been recognized as an organization again. Last time we had that honor was back in 2004. By the way, and Bruce is holding a photocopy of that award that we got back in 2004 for the Grassroots Organization of the Year. That was the year, this is pretty ironic, that was the year that we rolled back completely, got total preemption. We got rid of all local gun control that year, and that's why we got recognized that year as a grassroots organization. And we actually received that up in Northern Virginia. That year, the Gun Rights Policy Conference was up in Northern Virginia. And so I accepted that totally. They keep this stuff totally under wraps. I was there attending. I spoke on one session, had no idea that award was coming. Totally blew me away. They're very good at that. They're very secretive. So it's always a big surprise, whoever wins that award every year.
Yeah.
So good work, VCDL.
Yes. So, a lot of people are discouraged about the amount of gun control that got passed this past session. And yes, there was some gun control, not nearly as much as what could have been or what would have been had we not had the massive showing at Lobby Day last January. But just to put things in a little bit of perspective, when VCDL first formed as Northern Virginia Citizens Defense League, it was because back then in the 1990s, if you wanted to get a concealed handgun permit, you had to actually go before a judge and you had to say why you needed that permit, not that you wanted it or not that you had the right to have it or anything. You had to go and beg a judge and convince that judge that your life mattered enough for them to grant permission for you to exercise your constitutional rights. And I was looking up some statistics last week, and there were some counties right around Richmond that actually had a 60% denial rate. And so, only 40%, actually 38% of the people that applied for a concealed handgun permit were actually granted the permit.
I think Fairfax was higher than that because one of the only guys that got approved up here that I knew was Oliver North.
Right. And so, and that's the people that applied, because a lot of people just didn't even bother to go down and get fingerprinted. I know we didn't, because we weren't going to go down and get fingerprinted, and we weren't going to go to a judge and beg for our rights. So there were a lot of people that were discouraged. And so VCDL got the law passed that said that if you met the criteria and you applied, that they had to issue you that permit. It was shall issue, not may issue. And there was no discretion about it. These are the conditions that must be met. If you meet those conditions and you apply, then they have to issue the permit. Not only that, they have to issue it in 45 days, and they cannot charge you more than $50. Now, I didn't look to see if they could charge you more, but I know a lot of places around the country that, they've got permits, but they're so prohibitively expensive that if you're not uber rich, then you can't afford to have that permit.
Yeah, and of course they're blocking out the people that most need those permits. The
Right.
people
It's pretty expensive to get.
By the way, back in the bad old days you were describing, when we were May issue, they were charging like $100 to get a permit, and if they turned you down, too bad, they got to keep you $100.
Right.
So that was another reason people didn't do it. It's like, well, I've heard they're only issuing a few of them, and they're going to keep my $100. I don't have $100 to keep throwing away, so people didn't apply. That was the point, wasn't it?
Right.
They didn't want people applying.
And a lot of that pricing was to price poor minorities or people that just couldn't afford it out of getting the permit, the undesirables, so to speak. And people don't realize either that the reason that we couldn't own a 380 Glock until Glock moved their factory to the United States was because of the Saturday Night Special bill that was passed back in the 60s. to keep undesirables from being able to buy inexpensive handguns because they were used in so many robberies, supposedly. But, gun control is racist in its roots in almost every way imaginable. And people just don't realize this. But back to the point, VCDL has faced major, major challenges and major, major opposition in the General Assembly, a lot worse than what we're facing today. So for people, the reason I say this is that people are discouraged because they think that we're facing insurmountable odds. And the truth is, this is just a bump in the road. We will get preemption back. Mark my words, we will get preemption back. We will get constitutional carry, just like we got the repeal of the restaurant ban, just like we got the shall issue laws passed. All of these things, when VCDL was pushing for it, we were told by the people in the legislature, don't go there. It's the third rail. That's just too much to ask. Well, it's not. Rights are not too much to demand. And VCDL does not back down until we get success. So that's why I'm saying show up for Lobby Day, be a part of this movement, be a part of this winning team, because we will prevail.
The more they push back on us, the more determined we need to be that we're not going to put up with it. We're going to keep moving forward. And it works. Like I said, we got preemption. We've already done preemption. Mm-hmm. In 2003, we got preemption for permit holders. And that's something perhaps we could do with what the situation we're in now, and then do the same thing the next year in 2004. We got it for everybody.
Right.
So
one thing you might want to consider is this is actually, to a certain extent, it's advantageous because we had these things, they've taken them away, we've got to get them back. Well, before, when we tried to put teeth in these bills, so when the localities screwed up and left these bills on the books, they wouldn't let us put teeth in it so that they could get actually fined out of their own personal wallets for doing this stuff. So when we remake it with teeth, then we come out at an advantage. So it's it's one step backward, two steps forward, hopefully. And for what it's worth, Pete, Felipe, and Jeff Clark, your packages are done already. Thanks for your support.
So that's right. Again, the hypocrisy and two-faced double standard of these people. Back when we got the law changed and they were supposed to be taking down their no gun signs that were no longer valid because we had preemption. Oh man, dragged their heels. Some of them took 6 months, 8 months. Boy, those that when we changed the law so they could pass gun control again, look at Fairfax and all those, man, they powered up and they had signs out in no time.
But Philip, if they didn't have a double standard,
they take them down when we reverse things. I'll be curious to see how fast they take them down now once we get things reversed. We need to push them to take them down just as fast as they put them up. What'd you say, Bruce?
Philip, if they didn't have a double standard, they wouldn't have any standard.
That's right. They didn't have two faces, they wouldn't have a face at all.
All right.
I get a little fed up. I'm just so fed up with so many of these people.
Any last words before we wrap up?
Are there any last minute questions or anything that we might want to address before we pull the plug?
I just thought, John came in late and he's like, are we all going to stay in our cars and wave? And are we going to walk around? And we basically, John, we just said, you do you. If you want to get out and walk around and stretch your legs, go ahead.
Absolutely. I expect there'll be a lot of people doing that.
Well, as Pat says, I share Pat's sentiment. I hope we have double the size of crowd next year January. From 41 days from now.
Well, this to me seems like the perfect solution because we're not restricted to a certain area. So if we have to move the path of the rolling rally, then it's pretty easy to move it. So, the people on foot can go anywhere they want to in the city. They're not worried about having to have a permitted event and having to have a designated place where we have to be. the speakers will be broadcast, so anybody can listen to them anywhere in the world. So, the people that also didn't or couldn't attend last year because they couldn't walk all those blocks from where they were made to park or made to get off the bus down to where the rally was. They were robbed of the experience last year. This year, they'll be able to be a part of it. People that are immune compromised and don't want to be out in public because of COVID can roll on through with their vehicles decked out and be a part of this amazing event. So
and nobody's disarmed. Nobody's
Right.
disarmed. I've been saying that for a long time. We all the people saying, "Oh, we're going to be disarmed." No, and I was saying back then, don't count on that. It's not going to happen. We're not.
Yeah.
We're not. I would be a hypocrite if I was asking everybody to be disarmed out there. I mean, because I don't want to disarm. None of us should be. So and I appreciate the people that voluntarily went in the cage. And back in January, we got some fantastic photos of that. For them, I appreciate everything they did. I know that was difficult, but it gave us one thing we were looking for at that thing. Why I was asking was that very photograph that y'all have seen over and over again, that massive number of people crowded right around the Capitol. And unfortunately, that meant that some people had to be real patriots and disarmed for that. But that's not something we asked easily back then. That's not something we're definitely going to ask you to do this year. Forget it.
Nope. So this year we're doing it on our terms. And, forget all the hoops they want us to jump through. We'll make our own hoops and we will run circles around them if we have to. So we're doing it on our terms. We're doing it our way, not compromising and not giving in.
Hey, Philip, how many people was it that they allowed in the cage last lobby day?
6,000 they claimed was the limit. 6,000.
What is your estimate?
Yeah, I think there were more than that in there. Yeah, but it paid off. It really did. And I see a few people mention that they did disarm. I bet many that were in there. And I thank them because I know that for all of us, that's the whole point of why we have a Second Amendment is because we want to protect ourselves. And we know that we need to be able to do that at all times. There were all these stories about all the horrible things that could happen, which were really put out there to discourage and to keep that event from happening. And
they're going to do that again this time.
No, they'll probably come up with something this time. I'm sure they'll think of something to try to scare people off. I don't know what it is, but it's going to be a lot harder considering everybody's either going to be in their own vehicle armed or they may be walking around, but they're all going to be walking around armed.
Vehicles are now illegal.
Philip, if you look at it this way, if we had, say, let's round it way high. Let's say they had 10,000 people in the cage. There's somewhere in the neighborhood of 70,000 people outside. That means every single person in the cage had 7 armed guards. That's better than the governor. No wonder why he left town.
Yeah, I'm sure he won't be there again. I'm sure he'll be in his vacation home in North Carolina. Why he doesn't just live there, I don't know. But it was incredible. I truly feel sorry for anybody that missed last year's, but don't miss this year's. I'm looking forward to this.
So, Philip, you touched on something there. That the thing is, the governor may not be there, but he can't escape it because an event that size, you have to see the media coverage and go, holy cow.
Yeah.
I mean, I know the pictures that there were senators and delegates taking pictures from their office windows, and they were just jaw to the floor, flabbergasted.
I heard that story over and over. I mean,
yes.
You just may not realize the effect you guys had in the General Assembly in January. And I think we're going to turn around and do it again, and maybe on steroids. I'm really hoping. I think we well could do that, and I think everybody's fed up. Everybody's fed up. We don't want any more of this. I think we're going to have a great turnout.
I would challenge the community: run me out of GSL stickers, please. Yeah. I have 1.6 million Gun Save Live stickers because we were tight last year. FedEx Freight pulled up to my house with 2 40-box pallets. It's insane how many I have. So please, folks, order them, get them in hand, put them on envelopes, put them any place where they will be seen on your property, right? We don't tag, but get the word out, and it's a good thing to have. And at $25 a roll, it's pretty cheap. We may even do another special on those just to get them in people's hands really quick. Keep your eye on the VA alert for a sale on 3-inch Gun Save Live stickers.
And by the way, Lobby Day last year, we were having other gun rights groups from all over the country that were ordering rolls of Gun Saves Live stickers to do Second Amendment movements in their states. So, they go a long way. And like Bruce said, you stick them on your envelopes when you're mailing stuff. Wear them when you go out. All kinds of things.
Take them with you when you go to events. Give them out. If you go to a political rally, give them out. You go to a kid's birthday party, give them out. It's just it's good stuff to have. It gets the information. And to quote one politician, your big, ugly orange sticker.
Yes. And by the way, I think we'll be doing probably another one of these meetings but well before Lobby Day, maybe a week or two out. We'll have a guaranteed to go over Lobby Day, and all that we'll know then, all the routes, everything else we need to know. Hopefully in a few weeks we'll have that nailed down. So do plan on maybe in early January we'll be doing this again, and we'll get as many people as possible to watch this, because we'll have a lot of plans in place. Like I say, hopefully this week we'll have our map, and you'll have a general area where to watch out. Once we get closer, we'll give exact locations where people will be able to go. But at least you'll have the general location area, and you will have approximate times that'll allow you. And those of you even out of state, you'll be able to hook up with any one of the 4 caravans, just coming into Virginia, because they're starting from the ends. I guess it won't do you much good on the eastern end, but on those of you that could join us north, south, or west. That should work out well for you.
From 1 week following the election, when the first bad gun bill came in, until the second week of February, we mailed out over 1,700 packages. So everybody wanted stuff. Now we've got lots of stock, but we don't necessarily have lots of time. Get your orders in now, especially with the prices going up. Somebody during the meeting saw that the prices were going up. They saved $20 because they ordered 4 hats.
Right.
That's
Also,
the box is going out tomorrow.
We ship United States Postal Service, and the mail has been slow. So to give it plenty of time to get there with the holiday mails and everything, go ahead and get your order in now. One other thing that I want to touch on, because we've had a lot of people commenting on social media and so forth that the other side doesn't listen to us, and they don't the rally or the lobbying doesn't do much good. If we didn't have that kind of effect, they would not have thrown up so darn many roadblocks last year. And Philip can tell you, every time we kicked the football, they moved the goalpost every single time. And every day they were sending us a message saying, we got to have a meeting because we have some new requirement for you to do. If we didn't have a major effect on the General Assembly, they would not be doing that. They would not be running that scared.
They would ignore us. And instead, I told you what they did to us this year. All the dirty dealing with letting people book the bell tower a year out when we were only allowed to do it 6 months out, and all this other stuff going on. They absolutely, Pat's 100% right. If we weren't an influence, they wouldn't care. They would ignore us. Let them do what they want. I don't care. We're going to do what we want. They didn't do what they wanted. They backed off. A bunch of bills died, and others were watered down, and that they had this huge PR loss, massive PR loss all over the press worldwide. That event was there. That was a PR loss for them. Right. Believe me, they would love to shut us down, and I'm sure we'll be hearing something will be out there trying to deter you, or people on the other side will get onto our Facebook page and, poo-poo this. Let's not go to this thing. Let's not do this traffic jam. A lot of that when I see it, it's either somebody not wanting to come because they want an excuse not to get off their tail, or it's somebody trying to discourage you guys to throw bombs and then walk away. Ignore that. We got a mission. Do it.
We have pretty well trained moderators that look out for that.
Yeah. Every single one of you needs to share this video with your friends, and every single one of you needs to get commitments from 6 of your friends to join in the Rolling for the 2A rolling rally. So we need to, again, at least double the size of what we had last year. And the only way to do that is for you guys to talk to people and say, I'm going to this. I want you to come with me. You wouldn't believe how great it was last year, and we're going to make it even greater this year.
Yeah, show them the photos of last year. Also, again, with the FRS, you're in different cars, but you got your little 2-way radios. You can be in touch, talking to each other while you're driving. You got cell phones to do that too.
Sure.
There's a couple people with channels on Zello, which is like a walkie-talkie service. But there's already a Rolling for the 2A group and a VA Lobby Day 2021 group that you can walkie-talkie with these other people. They're in the same groups.
Oh, nice. Yeah, you gotta love these guys. DC they're out there pulling it together on their own.
Like Ed said, use that hashtag rolling for the 2A, rolling the number 4, the number 2 and A, rolling for the 2A. Get that out there so that it pulls up and we get a lot of traction.
Excuse me.
When you talk to your friends, the one thing that you should ask them, the one point that was paramount last year, especially when we were getting all the emails that all had that article attached about the one guy saying that it was going to be, just a killing cage, and it was a picture of the buffalo running over the cliff. And the bottom line was, our response was, is freedom worth it? So for the people that are sitting on their dead butts, for the people that are letting you carry their water, for the people that don't think it's necessary and don't think they matter, ask them if freedom's worth it. Ask them if they would prefer the life they have or a FEMA trailer. Whatever. I mean, whatever nasty thing you can think of, the bottom line is freedom worth it?
And what about your kids? What legacy are you going to leave for your kids?
Yeah, they should have everything that we have. We should not lose it under our watch. I see Maria Elena has got people from Texas coming, so perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. Yeah, we're going to see a lot of that. We're going to have people, I'm sure, from all over the place. New York, of all places. That always blows my mind with the gun laws they've got. They're still willing to come down here and help us. I think that's wonderful. California, I'm sure people from there. New Jersey. Just great fellow Americans that are willing to come all this way for us. What can I say? It's wonderful people out there.
Yeah, I think we had representation from every state in the union last year.
Yeah.
I guess Bruce signed off.
Yeah, he's got probably way past his bedtime. He gets up way early.
I'm get up in like 30 minutes.
I'm Mr. Night Owl. So I guess that's it. I know it's a lot of people probably have to hit the hay here. So I guess if we have anything urgent, I guess we'll pull the plug. We will do this again before Lobby Day for a final going over, and maybe even twice before then, maybe one even the night before or the day before to go over very final details.
I think probably twice would be better.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is the big event for us. We'll do it as often as we have to. If we have urgent breaking news and we can, that we have to get everybody together, we'll do it that way too. So stay tuned.
Thank you all for joining us.
What you said?
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Yep. Good night, folks.